what? I hate, John, this may be the first time that I'm going to start the podcast. I'm going to be a little, how do I say?
Edgy?
A little sour. No, edgy's never a problem. But I could be in a good mood and be edgy, right? Like, I'd love to go tell that guy off and just go tell that person off. But now I'm a little, now I'm a little perturbed, So I'm going to say, let's just do a countdown, even though we don't do countdowns.
Well, we should. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. 5, 4.
Jesus.
3.
With some epinephrine.
Yeah. 2, 1.
Welcome back, friends. Welcome back to another episode of The Jersey Alchemist, where we are collectively in need of some adrenaline. I am your host, Dr. John Gerard Gallucci.
And I am Philip D'Angelo. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. You always press it, I always stop it, and I always clap.
You hate that button.
No, I kind of like it because I think it's funny. I like that. But, I'm a little perturbed, John, because as we had to delay the start of the podcast for a couple of minutes,
Yeah, we did.
like 20, because I had a meeting after the podcast that was set up days in advance. I'm arranging my schedule, and then somebody who I'm supposed to meet says, oh, guess what? I can't make it. But you committed yesterday. I checked in yesterday, the day before, for the committed meeting, and now you're telling me you can't make it, and there's no alternative dates. There's no alternative times. I'll come later.
This is
I'll come.
engagement.
A professional engagement
Are
with
you
somebody.
obligated to this person?
What do you mean by? Well, yeah. Well, I mean he did a service, and now I'm supposed to pick up the results, and I have to pay.
So you're already embroiled.
I'm embroiled,
Yeah.
entangled,
Fried.
embroiled,
In roasted.
and yeah, definitely roasted. And now I'm really hot about it. I mean, that's not right. I mean, you make a commitment, John. All right, everybody's a little bit late.
Yeah.
Early. Listen, I can't make it at 10. How about
How old's
10:30?
the guy?
I never met the guy.
Oh.
He did a service for
Maybe
me.
He's having a.
Oh, no, wait. He's my age. He's our age.
Well, maybe he's having a little lunch with.
Yeah. His best friend himself, because this guy can't have many friends. But you know what, John? I mean, of course, it was he was recommended by a friend of a friend whose other friend knew him in college. That's a true story. I'm like, okay.
That's happened to me before.
In Jersey, that's all right. That's three,
Right.
separations from my friend. So I said, that's close enough. Let's give him a shot. And now he's giving me a shot in the backside. Oh.
That's a pretty interesting topic, is when you engage professionally somebody that you got by word of mouth, either from a relative or a friend. Oh, this person's great. I went to college with them, or I used them for this and that, and you engage them with, not starry-eyed, but reasonable expectations that somebody that you know and trust can vouch for this person, that they're the real thing, they're not going to screw you, they're not going to mislead you. And boy, did I get shish kebabbed by a mortgage loan officer.
Oh. A pretty important.
Lied through her teeth.
A female that lied?
Shell
That's
game,
unbelievable.
tried to hoodwink me. I was like, you? Wow, I couldn't believe it. And then the day that we were supposed to meet at a diner so that we could sign the papers, she came floridly sick with a virus. This is way before COVID. This is like 10 years ago, 11 years ago. Floridly sick. I'm sitting right across from a diner table from her, and she's coughing and hacking and sneezing in my face.
Disgraziato.
I was like, I just wanted to get the hair on her head and just go bang and stick her face right in her whatever she was eating.
Give her the hand.
I was really, really angry. And then, I was angry double because she lied to me about the percentages she needed down.
Well, I would think that percentages, mortgage, money, big money. I mean, you got to be. You have to be pretty accurate in her game.
Well, these are some
Very
of the
unprofessional.
biggest lying scoundrels in the world. The banking mortgage people. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because it's through their doorways that we're all basically turned into debt slaves.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And if somebody like that, John, comes recommended, like a friend, You really you can't say anything.
Oh no, I told her to go fuck herself.
Oh, really?
When I walked out, absolutely, and I threw my paper napkin down on the table. Screw you.
Sure. Yeah.
No, I was like, you know what? I think dinner's over. I asked her. Wait. It's not what we said last week. No. You said 20% down. Oh no, not with these numbers that I'm giving you. Oh no, it's got to be 35% down. I says, oh.
See ya.
I says, and you're sure about that? You are? Okay. Okay. Thanks for dinner. Bye. Didn't even give her a chance to sneeze again at me. I got up. I slid out of the booth I was in, and out the door I went.
You know, John, part of being successful in business or in anything you're doing, whether it's, a fitness goal, a relationship goal, is just being consistent and being professional. Just show up and do the right thing.
Yeah.
But people can't show up and do the right thing. This chooch I have this meeting with, I mean, come on, 2 days in advance. I mean, come on. Yeah. What, are you kidding me? Now you tell me, I can't make it. And
Was it Woody Allen that said life is really, 85% of life is just showing up?
Let me tell you, that pedophile was right. Because,
Did you see that
he married
picture?
his
I don't know if it's a
stepdaughter.
Photoshop picture. There's a meme going around Facebook and Instagram of the boss, Bruce Springsteen, a contemporary picture of him somewhere with a woman, and he's wearing a pair of glasses, and he looks like Woody Allen's twin brother.
No friggin' way.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Wow. Well, he's what, 70 years old?
Yeah, you gotta sure. He's gotta be.
Johnny, that was the Facebook one.
Yeah. Oh, that, yeah.
I'm showing John a Facebook that he posted today, a Facebook post about, I know you're big on poison and nutrition.
I love poison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't quite remember. Oh, I know what it was. It was genetically modified foodstuffs. That's what it was. It wasn't a chemical, like polysorbate 80 or it was genetically modified foodstuffs. She picked up
tacos, pitas.
Old something tacos.
Yeah,
I can't
old Fiesta.
Yeah, whatever. Some name brand taco mix. And the outside of the box said made with just 3 ingredients. Oh, just 3 ingredients. It's not a phone book like on a Caesar chicken wrap from a convenience store like Wawa or Quick Check. Have you ever read the ingredients? It's an entire, it's chapter 20 of your chemistry book. Don't eat it.
Horrible.
You shouldn't be eating what comes out of a chemistry set. Anyway, this gal said she was gobsmacked. She didn't use that word, but I like that word. When the outside of the box was advertising it's only made with 3 ingredients. But what they don't tell you, because they're trying to hoodwink you with just the 3 ingredients, is that those ingredients are poison. But they don't tell you that. And then the back of the box that says on the bottom, kind of like where it says made in a plant that may contain soys, peanuts, fish hooks, ostrich shit, all of that crap. It may be on the same conveyor belt with that stuff. It says, contains genetically modified food stuffs or food items. Well, she went to the internet and searched that and looked it up. And it talked about all of the terrible things that genetically modified foodstuffs can cause, including all sorts of horrible things like stroke, sudden cardiac death, infertility, hemorrhage, on and on and on, spontaneous abortion. There's the depopulation agenda, but again, hidden right in your old El Paso
That's
tacos.
what it was. Old El Paso.
Right.
Old El Paso.
Old El Paso.
Yeah,
Got to get Freddie Fender to sing that song.
Freddie Fender.
It's like What the fuck? So if I think that I titled the video something like, if you're still not catching on here, that
Yeah.
we're being poisoned to death. I mean, come on, guys, like get with the program. Don't try to talk through this. Don't try to rationalize this. Don't try to explain it away. There's because you can't. You can't explain away a company. And look, a long time ago, I think I was in my 20s. One of the things I loved as a holdover as a kid was a simple, good old-fashioned fucking American fucking Twinkie. I loved Twinkies. Did I eat them every day? No. But when I was in my 20s, I decided I was going to read The Wrapper because I heard all the shit, about, Twinkies, they can stay on a shelf for 100 years.
Amen.
Okay. But, I love the Twinkie. So I read the wrapper and I read the ingredients. And when I was 20, it's all gibberish to me, right? It's a chemistry set. But there was a warning, a disclaimer that said, not intended to be relied on as a complete food item and should not be eaten every day. Okay. Should not be eaten every day.
Wow.
Okay, so no one's having, Twinkies for breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Because if you did, you'd probably be dead. As a matter of fact, you would still look the same
I'm sure
in
it's some.
100 years because you would be embalming yourself. The point is, it's completely ridiculous what they're doing because one company uses the disclaimer that all of the other companies use. So if you pick up a Dixie cup with a little wooden flat spoon, if you read the bottom, it says, should not be taken as a complete foodstuffs and should not be substituting for, a balanced diet, and you should not eat this every day. And then you go and you get yourself, I don't know, tater tots, and then something else, and then yogurt, and then whatever the shit is in the supermarket. And everybody's saying the same thing because they all have just a little bit of a different derivation of the same old poisons. So what happens? The companies are protecting themselves. They're taking your money. They're shortening your life. And you're eating all of the same poisons every fucking day. You know what, people? There's a reason why they do that. Because you allow it. Because you allow these globalist scumbags that have, what would Gerald Celente say? These fuck faces.
Fuckface.
You would allow them to poison you, to poison your offspring, to kill your unborn child. And they're doing this by way of food and drink, over-the-counter medication, prescription medication, and bing bong, this shit. Beware ye, the mandate for something that shouldn't be mandated and that has never been properly tested. If you think that's a good idea, you are supremely fucking stupid. And therefore, in their minds, you deserve it.
John, and when it comes to the foodstuffs and these chemicals and these poisons, I mean, it's another three-letter agency of the government, FDA, Food and Drug Administration.
Yeah.
So they don't really regulate anything because the big money that's involved with these foods, right? These
They
food
regulate
companies.
debauchery.
Yeah, they regulate the slow poisoning of human beings because they're not doing anything. And it comes down to the almighty dollar. These companies need to put these chemicals in the Twinkie so it sits there in a truck, in a warehouse, in a truck, on a shelf, in a supermarket in your house, 6 to 8 months to a year and a half, and it's considered edible.
Well, I'll tell you what.
You know what? Let's get a Twinkie on set here. In the next
I
episode.
forgot the bowl of nuts and the nutcracker.
Oh yeah, we'll get the
I
nutcracker
gotta
too.
remind myself.
Well, yeah, we'll have a whole food thing here. You know what? Johnny, let's get a whole bunch of poisonous foods, and one episode we'll put them all down there. Twinkies,
Okay.
stuff that'll just be,
Okay.
because I know there's loaves of bread that you can put in your cupboard or on your counter in your kitchen. I know for a fact that they could stay there for 6 months with no green mold.
Okay. I mentioned to you the other day, but I guess it wasn't on camera. I think it was.
John, leave our off-camera conversations off-camera, please.
Well-
Let's not go down that road.
I have the John Gerard Gallucci test for any food item that you bring from the supermarket into your kitchen.
Okay.
And for me in particular, it's any given loaf of bread. So, about 6 months ago, I bought home a loaf of panel, or Italian bread. It was Calandra's Italian bread. Calandra's is kind of a famous
Historic.
bakery, historic from, North Jersey, that kind of thing.
Out of Newark,
Yeah. And
Brick City.
I had that loaf of bread for, time goes fast when you're busy, so maybe it was a week and a half. And I stuck my hand in the bag to get a piece of bread, and I went, ah! And it was green mold in there. And I was like, MF this, MF that. Then I said, you know what? Wow. I shouldn't be so upset, because when I was a kid, all bread was like this. All bread was organic. It didn't have mycins. It didn't have antibiotics and antifungals. And salads didn't have formaldehyde, did they?
Salads and vending machines.
So I'm not saying that because in a week and a half or two the calandras had green mold on it, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. That's a blessed thing, because that means now you got a timeline when you have bought yourself a real loaf of bread. There is another brand out there that's on all sorts of internet, YouTube commercials. Some guy with muscles playing a guitar. And it's
Great marketing.
And it's great marketing, and it's all about so-and-so's organic bread. Well, the John Gerard Gallucci test is 2 months without green mold. This particular bread, 3 months in the bag. It had been opened immediately. I took a couple slices out the first or second day I had it. And 3 months later, there was no green mold. The bread was still soft. It smelled pretty good after 3 months. And I read every single ingredient. And of course, those big letters beginning with the O, organic. And a lot of companies, whether it's bread or not, they like to fuck with you. It's a psyop, and they'll say original, and people just see. They don't pay attention. They're shopping for their families. The kid
So
is
true.
screaming, "Why can't I have Fruit Loops?" And all they see is the big OR, blah 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 blah, and they think it's organic. Boom, and into the basket it goes, and it doesn't say organic. It just says original. This particular bread was billed as organic. Guess what? That was 8 or 10 months ago. I happened to be on month 2 of round 2 of the John Gerard Gallucci bread test for that particular brand of bread. I'm in the middle of the 2nd month.
Wow.
So far, it's pristine. It's a Twinkie. It's a Twinkie that's made to look like bread.
It's funny we're on bread today, John, because I did just go to the supermarket and I bought Ezekiel bread. Remember we were telling?
Yeah.
And I bought one for you. It's in my freezer.
Okay.
Now, Ezekiel bread made with sprouts, not flour, processed flour.
It's not wheat flour?
No, it's sprouted, and that's why. And they do keep it in the
It's
freezer.
not crickets from Bill Gates?
It might be a cricket or two, all right, but it's not sprouted flour. Processed flour, which is a no-no.
Right.
So, when I bring it to you, it's got to be right from the freezer to your spot, and let's see what happens.
Well, I've never had it before. Are there guidelines?
Have you tried chewing wood?
I have.
You're going to enjoy this then. It's got a wood flavor to it.
Okay.
It's not, it's dense. I know that. There's 8 grams of protein per slice, which is really good. 8 grams, right? Because of the sprouts probably, or whatever. Yeah.
Wow.
And,
Okay.
and we'll give it and you can give it a test, but it is in the freezer section. They can't
Okay.
leave it on the shelf. So, and it is healthy.
So tell me, what are the do's and don'ts? Should I leave it in the freezer, and every time I want a slice or two, I take it out of the freezer?
You could do it that way because it seems to thaw out pretty quick. I keep it in the refrigerator, and it seems to be okay in the refrigerator.
Back in the old days when we were youngins,
You had the shelf, the drawer.
a bread box.
Yeah.
But people would say, "Don't put the bread in the refrigerator. It makes it all hard and stiff, and it destroys that beautiful, moist, squishy, fresh bread thing." But that was real bread
It was.
42 years ago.
Yeah. Do you know if you take a roll, let's take a basic Kaiser roll, okay? Or any kind of roll, round roll.
Right.
And you take it and you put it on your counter.
Mm-hmm.
In 24 hours, you could literally crumble it. You could throw it, use it as a baseball. Yeah. Now, how scary is that we're supposed to digest this whatever this is, that at 24 hours later, you can throw it through a window. It's like not even, it's like a brick. Yeah. I don't like eating bricks.
No, me neither.
It's scary stuff. FDA,
well, the
NFG.
Well,
you know what that stands for?
No fucking good.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, all of these three-letter agencies are actually in cahoots. They're in coercion against us with this great globalist, here comes that word, conspiracy, people. There's a conspiracy that the FDA, the CDC, all of the three-letter law enforcement agencies, they're all in on this. They just, they turn a blind eye and a deaf ear to the fact that we are intentionally, methodically being poisoned every single day of our lives. Now, why are we being poisoned? For the same reason that Bill Gates wants to depopulate the planet. That's what his agenda is. His father was a depopulationist. He was. And little Billy Shithead, I think he and I are about the same age. Man, I would love to end up in the octagon with him.
Oh.
Bare fucking knuckles.
John, he might be training.
He's not trained. He can train all he wants. The only thing I ask is, just let me tape my wrists. And I want to go after him in a good old-fashioned Tyson Fury, good old-fashioned British, Irish, Gypsy, King Jippo, bare knuckle contest.
John, I
don't give a shit if my fucking bones are coming through my skin.
I see it more as a pro wrestling, And in his corner, from parts unknown, we'll even put a mask on you.
Seattle, Washington.
Yeah, he's from Seattle, and we could put a mask on you, so
Yeah.
And we'll do it the professional wrestling way.
Billy, the depopulationist Gates.
That's right.
Yeah. All that shit. And in the other corner, from Jersey, one of the Jersey boys.
Doctor,
the slicer, the dicer.
The slicer, the dicer, yeah. Go in there with like bloody scrubs or something.
Right.
Oh my goodness, me. I don't know, John. It's just not. It's just not good what's happening to the population.
They're doing this on purpose, and the United States, population growth is already, I think, really, really close to, if not at zero. And that's what these motherfuckers want. They want the world population. Do you guys know this? You guys, look, you know what?
I think it's happening throughout the world.
Every time I want to vindicate myself with somebody who either trolled me, ridiculed me, persecuted me, scoffed at me 10, 12 years ago when I was railing against the New World Order 12 years ago on social media, they're like, bah! He thinks there's a conspiracy. He's the conspiracy theorist. No, guess what? You're all a bunch of fucking idiots. If you think that this is just a big joke, after everything that's happened in your face in the last 2.5 years, you don't have a neocortex.
Any who?
The newer neocortex is the newer portions of the brain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you just have a lizard brain. You've got your brainstem, and I just don't know what to tell you. It's either you're supremely stupid and you're a fucking idiot without a neocortex, or you're that secretly terrified to admit what really is happening. Then you're the frog in the pot that denies that the person outside the pot is turning up the heat, and that they'll keep turning it up until they're eating boiled frog legs.
But John, this is the question that we ask over and over again. What does it take to finally wake people up? There's so many people that go through life with the blinders on, their heads down. They just know, get up, go to work, come home, sleep. Get up, go to work,
Right.
come home, sleep. And they don't want to learn. They don't want to educate themselves.
Do you remember those scenes? They were kind of ominous, but yet comical. There were scenes from old cartoons, like they were like pre-Bugs Bunny cartoons, and that, you know, the camera would pan in on a factory, and it showed all of the different components of the factory working, you know, and they played that factory song, dun, 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 da, 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 bum, 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 right?
Right.
And that's what people have been turned into. David Rockefeller once said in public, I don't need a country of scholars or geniuses. I need a country full of workers. Right. So bring on the Nazis, David, with their fluoride in the water system to fuck up people's central nervous systems. Bring on all of the other poisons and processed foods. Let's get women into the workplace so that they're no longer the motherly influence on their children that they were meant to be. That has nothing to do, that's not speaking against women becoming self-actualized. We're just talking about there's got to be somebody from the parental units that is going to be there every day influencing the development of the consciousness and the emotions of the child.
John,
And
free.
so Hillary Clinton thinks that it takes a village to raise a child, not your fucking village, you bitch.
Free daycare, John. The government's going to take care of all that. From right after we said this before. If they allow you to have the baby, right after the baby's born, free daycare. You can drop it off.
Or after that, and then when they're, let's make it easy on the surgeons. When they're a year old, we'll take all of the females' breasts off. Right.
John.
Because females, why would anybody think that there would be purpose to having breast on a female? Oh, now I'm getting some people really fucking inflamed. Guess what? I don't give a fucking rat's ass. The world's going down the fucking toilet, just like, what's Olympia Dukakis?
Yeah.
Your life's going down the toilet. Get rid of that thing. What's that thing on your neck? You got a love bite. The world has a fucking bite on its neck by the vampires that are the globalists. Your life is going down the toilets. Get your shit together. Who's that? I'm not getting it. You get it. So
It's Johnny Camarari.
it's Johnny Camarari.
Oh man, I love that movie. John, wake up, people. We say it. We said it once. We say it all the time.
Left fucking
Wake up.
shits their pants when they hear people say "wake up."
Yeah.
They just fucking have a fucking big ass fucking steaming load of shit in their pants. Nothing gets a leftist more angry than when people that are not leftists say "wake up," because a leftist would never even think of those words because they want you to live in your little fucking tranquility bubble, pull it over your head and go, everything's fine. It's okay that we're tearing apart cities. Antifa's a good thing. They're just expressing themselves.
What Antifa?
They're not insurrectionists.
Yeah.
No. The people on January 6th were insurrectionists. It doesn't matter that the Capitol Police led them into the Capitol. It doesn't matter that crisis actors were there on behalf of the three-letter agencies. It doesn't matter that this was planned by Nancy Shithead Pelosi. No. No. And whose bedroom was raided? Mr. Cokehead, crackhead, whore master, Hunter Biden,
Pedophile.
or pedophile.
Yeah.
But hey, give him a break. It was a familial.
Oh, it was a family member. I
It was
apologize.
a family thing.
I apologize.
No, I meant like it's in his family.
Yeah,
It's
he can't,
generational.
yeah.
Or was it Barron
Barron.
Trump? Yeah, it was Barron Trump's bedroom that was raided. Not the other fucking low-life ne'er-do-well whose scumbag fucking father who's been colluding with the Chinese for years, who sold our country out to the CCP. No, it's not those people. So you see, people, there's an old expression: in the end times, which we are in, everything will be turned ass backward, bass backwards, and upside down. Even the shithead Republicans have turned the stars on the RNC elephant upside down. You don't believe me? As soon as this podcast is over, after you hit subscribe and like, you are going to
share.
look up the RNC elephant and tell me if the stars aren't upside down.
John, I think we need a little bit of light shed on this extremely,
Your turn, tag your it.
extremely dark episode. Well, listen, if I was going to alchemize this, John, as a budding alchemist,
What a king of the forest. Go ahead.
where are they just coming? You know, only somebody our age would know what you're just saying, right? Or older.
No, that's
Yeah.
probably the most iconic movie
Of all time, yeah.
Of Hollywood.
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, the Wizard of Oz. Remember the actor's name that sang that song?
I know
I.e., who played the lion?
Ray Bolger.
That was the Scarecrow.
He was a scare. Who was the original Scarecrow, but was allergic to the paint?
That was the Tin Man.
No.
No, it was the Tin Man, and it was Buddy Epstein.
Yeah, that was a good. Wow, you're good.
Yeah.
I thought I had you on that one.
He almost died.
Yeah.
He inhaled that shit.
Freaking
And then
Jed
Jack
Clampett.
Haley
Jack Haley.
took the.
He started. Then he sang right with the Comets. No, that was Bill Haley. No, that was Bill Haley.
But it was
Jack Haley.
Burt Lahr. He used to do the Wise potato chips commercials.
Oh,
I can eat 1,000,000 of them.
that was some movie.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, John.
Alchemize. All of
please.
the things that.
Some light. Because, it's been dark outside, too, the last couple of days.
Okay. All right. It's not easy to alchemize all of the things that we talk about, day after day on the Jersey Alchemist. But we are the alchemists, so there, where there's a will, there's a way, and where there's a dark, there's a day. So, alchemy is really a different term for transmuting or changing one thing to really its opposite, right? It's not changing light to dark or good to bad. It's changing the negative to the positive. So how do we alchemize this? People understand that you have a choice in the world that you live in. This world is partly constructed by your consciousness and by your heart. If everybody were here in service to others, it would be heaven on earth. But there are those that are here to challenge us. There are family members, there are colleagues at work, there are bosses, there are next door neighbors, they're the local rabbi, monsignor, or preacher. Yeah, they're everywhere. And you can't just shrink away and let the dark overtake the light. Now, there's good news here, people. It's well known that darkness can never overtake the light. And we'll say that old famous saying, that quote, I believe it was St. Francis of Assisi, who was born in 1181 and died in like 1226. He was only like 46 years old, but it's a long time ago. All the darkness in the world cannot extinguish the light of a single candle. Right? So, be a bright lamp on its lampstand and shine your light for all the world to see, because there's more to this world than what's in front of your nose. There's spiritual, energetic light that we cannot see with our human eyes. Be a progenitor of heavenly, godly light. If you do that, it becomes infectious. It becomes contagious. And instead of the dark, rolling, unabated, no. The light that shines from you, my friends, will extinguish all of the darkness in the world. That's it.
Wow.
Amen.
That was awesome. I feel better now. Not really. Thank you for watching The Jersey Alchemist. If you like what we're doing, press like, press subscribe, or
Yeah.
follow,
Share,
follow, share.
like, throw some comments. Do you want us to hit a certain topic?
Yeah.
Put it in the comments, people.
What?
Listen, I'm going to remind you all. Right around mid-July, our growth was just exponential. It was just... And then once we revealed that we were going to call out Tony Fauci, and how certain mandated administrations weren't working the way they said they would, and how they were actually not good for you, we got torpedoed. Our analytics curve dropped straight down, which is statistically as improbable as what happened in the middle of the night, November 3rd,
Pennsylvania.
4th, on the 2020
600,000.
election. Completely fucking bullshit, ridiculous. It's communazi censorship, and this is speaking directly to the platform. If you want to help take back our voices, even if you don't choose to have a voice on YouTube or any other internet venue, if you share and like and subscribe, you're helping to combat the Nazi censorship that is right now rampant all over the planet. By the way, 75,000 people in the Czech Republic stormed their capital in Prague.
Isn't that on primetime news, John?
No. You didn't hear anything about it. You know what I didn't know? After the Canadian trucker thing, right?
Yeah.
The American truckers were going to do the same thing south of the border, and I thought, well, maybe it's a little, it's kind of like,
Risky?
No, not risky. It was kind of like, well, the Canadian trucker, happenstance was so covered by the news that the news, I think, kind of learned from what they figured was a mistake. Let's not give these people let's not encourage them. Let's not give them a platform. Apparently, there were thousands of trucks in the United States that made it to Washington. I didn't see a single episode of coverage of the American trucker convoy at all. Did you?
I heard one blip. It was going to start at some point, and I never heard anything.
But they're not telling you that the Italians, who, at the drop of the hat, the Italians throw out their governments. Now, whether they're getting the same feckless fucking idiots over and over again, probably. That's why they're still throwing them out. I think the Italians have had 50 governments in like 50 years, something ridiculous like that. But the mainstream media is not going to tell you the truth, because then that'll enable us to gain momentum. When I say us, I mean you, the people that are watching this, the people that want tradition, the people that want borders, the people that want law and order, the people that don't want deviant human sexuality taught to children, babies in school, kindergarten through 3rd grade. Only a fucking satanic piece of shit even thinks those thoughts. If you don't like what I just said, don't watch The Jersey Alchemist anymore. Walk away.
And before we sign off, John, go to Project Veritas. They just exposed an assistant principal talking about how they...
How about that fucker at a diner? Oh, yeah, well, we just, if it's right. As soon as we think they're conservative...
Well, not only not hire them, but how they train the kids when they hit a certain age. They know when to hit them. Disgraceful. That's another episode.
It is another episode.
Give it to me.
God bless.
God bless everybody.
Bye-bye.
Peace. Stay strong.
Jersey Alchemist.
Strong.